Greetings, Internet. Welcome to X. X is a navigator and editor of zzstructures. What's a zzstructure, you may ask? All will be revealed soon. As you can see, you begin with a single cell called home. Now this home is different from your home because it exists on 256 different dimensions, two of which you can see on the top right of the screen. 0 and 1. 0 is currently mapped to the x dimension, and 1 is currently mapped to the y direction. We can create new cells on the 0 dimension and the 1 dimension, and they will remain with those dimensions. And we can swap out which dimension corresponds to which direction. So 0 can be viewed along the y direction, and 1 can be viewed along the x dimension, as you will soon see. Let's start by creating some cells. We create a cell by pressing C. As you can see, we're now being prompted to enter a direction. We do this with the WASD combination. So let's create one positively on the 0 dimension. I from Paulsword on dimension 0, and hit escape. Okay, now we've created a new cell on the 0th dimension. So let's create a cell on the 1st dimension that's currently mapped to the y direction. So let's create one, pressing C. Let's create one negridly that's up on the 1st dimension. Do that by pressing W. Typing is a bit difficult at the moment. Negrid on D1. Hit escape, and there we are. Now, directionality, that is to say the x direction and the y direction, is to be distinguished from cell connections. As an example, I can swap the 0th dimension and the 1st dimension so that the 1st dimension is mapped to the x direction and the 0th dimension is mapped on the y direction by pressing Z. As you can see, the two dimensions have swapped, but the connections still make sense. Here, the cell that said I'm negrid on D1 is still negrid on D1, and the cell that said I'm Paulsword on D0 is still Paulsword on D0 from home's perspective. Alright, now let's swap them back to how they once were. Now, I can show you how using just these two dimensions, and remember there are 256 of them, and the ability to connect cells between them can create some truly complicated structures. Alright, so I want to link this cell, so this cell's up direction, to this cell's down direction. And how I do that is I hit L, and I want to go up, so I hit W, and I want to connect that cell to this cell, negridly on dimension 1. And here's how I do that, by hitting M. Alright, now I've connected these cells. So, I can go up, and up, and up, as long as I want, because we have now created a loop from one cell, another cell, and passes through home each time. And I can swap the dimensions again, and you can see that we still have the same connectivity between these cells. It's just that the orientation has changed. Now for something slightly different. We have far more than 2 dimensions, so I can switch us by pressing X and Y for the corresponding parent dimensions, the X and the Y, I can bring us to two dimensions that we haven't seen yet, namely 2 and 3. And as you can see, we no longer see the cells we created previously. They still exist. All cells exist in all dimensions, but not all cells are connected to each other on all dimensions. And it is these connections that we use to visualize and navigate the ZZ structure. Now, imagine that, if you will, that this home cell is an interesting article that you'd like to comment on. Now, let's also say that dimension 2 is currently mapped on the X direction is a comment dimension now. It will always be used for commenting on the thing to the leftmost of it. So, we want to create a comment for our home cell. And let's be realistic about it. So, hit C, create a new cell, hit D, and what's the first thing that a commenter wants to do? Well, declare they are greater than everyone by saying first post. And now hit escape, and we have our new cell. That's a comment. And now it's attached to home, and now we can attach another comment to home by inserting another cell. Same thing. This one will be a typical reaction to such behavior. And now hit escape. Now, let's say we have a particularly irate commenter who says that this article called home is bad because the author is dumb. But this commenter went the extra mile in his effort to denigrate the author of home. He wrote a rebuttal article. And he wanted to reply, he wanted to connect this rebuttal article to the article he was rebutting. So, he wrote his article. So let's create a new cell. And he connected it to the home article. Hit escape. Alright, so now we have our rebuttal article created by the author of this unflattering comment. Now, we still have our comments dimension on 2, reply dimension on 3. This reply dimension can be used generally to say that anything is a reply to something else. And so this comment, which is clearly a reply to this comment, we can mark as such by using the linking mechanism. So I want to and so I will link the two up by pressing L, and I want to link this to the bottom, to the pause word on the reply dimension 3, and so I hit S, and then I link it to this comment, and now, as you can see, I have a loop between the I have a loop on the reply dimension between the comment that is being replied to and the reply itself. And as you can also see, because I've linked the two together, it's the same cell. I also see where in the list of comments this comment replying to the other one occurred. Alright, back to this particular comment. The author of that one wrote this article. And now a commenter read this article and thought, well, you know, this rebuttal loses a bit on its face by the fact that the author made a rather ad hominem attack up above. So he decides to write a comment on the comment dimension and say, and say something like this rebuttal is weak. I have evidence. Alright, so this rebuttal is weak, I have evidence. What is that evidence? The evidence is the comment over here. So, people who want to see, well, what is this evidence? Well, can navigate to the evidence dimension. Now this is all convention at the moment, so let's say that dimension 4 is the evidence dimension. So let's navigate to dimension 4. We do that by pressing Y. Now we're on dimension 4, and as you can see, we no longer have the replies. We no longer have access to the cell that was along the reply dimension, because we switched from dimension 3, the reply dimension, to dimension 4, the evidence dimension. So, now we need to link this cell to the evidence, which was that comment. So we hit L, we hit S for postword on the dimension 4. Alright, and now we need to navigate back to the reply dimension. So we need to hit Shift, and then hit Y, and now we can navigate back to the comment. And we hit M to mark it as the other end of the link, and navigate back to our comment. Alright, and now a person wanting to discover what this evidence is of the weakness in the other previous author's argument can navigate to the evidence dimension and take a look. So we hit Y to do that, and go down, and we can see the comment. Not only can we see the comment, but we can see that it is part of the comment stream for the original article. And so our context for this evidence is established for us. So let's switch back to the replies. There. I hope this demonstration has been informative in showing you what zzstructures are all about, what X is about, and I hope that you enjoyed this video a bit, and that you will enjoy the ones that are coming in the future. Good day.